Hello, good evening, everybody. Welcome today to our talk. We have with us today Dr. Sheun-oke, and she is going to give us a lot of really amazing information. So please take it away, Dr. Sheun.
Hi, good evening, everybody. It's great to be here with you, and I think I've been seeing what's been going on in the group. And Toberi, I want to say, well done for the amazing community that you've created. It's just pretty amazing. When I stumbled upon it, I was like, okay, this is a good one. I think I was just one of something that I saw on Facebook that said, oh, actually suggested that, oh, this group, I didn't even know it existed. But what I've been seeing has been amazing things, the support that people are getting, building a community is absolutely fantastic. So I'll say well done for that. And for all you ladies that are here, hi, this is Dr. Sheun. Okay, I'll start sharing my slides shortly. I want this to be like sister to sister talk. So maybe not too technical. I'll make things as easy as possible, so that you may also have an opportunity to ask her to ask questions, because as our agenda, there's a lot going on. And happy International Women's Month. My husband says literally we do Mother's Day every single day. What's going on? I would remember the men every four years. I know that's not really the case, but the work that we do as women cannot be overemphasized. So I would say whether you're a mom biological or you're a mom to some other people, or you cater for people, especially as you are this gender, I'll say well done to us. We have to give ourselves our flowers or what we do. Now, how to I talk about this? When we talk finance, at times everybody thinks, oh, my husband handles that, or my partner handles that, and we don't really kind of like pay too much attention because we got a spouse that may look at it. Or if you are single, that you may be the father and the mother, and the person doing everything. But for people that have support, I think we just tend to push it to the back of our mind because we don't think things like this is important. And here is what I say to people: that if we fail to plan, if we fail to plan, we are planned to fail. And when it comes to finance, the reason a lot of us are here in diaspora is because we want to look for a better life for our children, or better life for ourselves, better opportunity. And we have to make sure that we use this institution, this country, well, the positives, the negatives, and all those far in between. When you can see my slide, please let me know. Just give me one moment. Please let me know if you can see, and then we'll start from there.
We can see it, but it's not in
Oh,
PowerPoint mode yet.
okay, all right. So it's gonna be right then now. Um, from the beginning. All right.
Yes.
Is that okay now?
Perfect.
All right,
Thank you.
great. So tonight we'll be talking about she builds, she leads, she protects, designing a financial future that outlives you. So it's more about not just building, but making sure that it transcends this generation to somewhere else that we wanted to get to. Oh, a little bit about me. Yeah, I'm Dr. Sheun-oke. I'm a multi-award winning author, and the reason that is important is just a few years ago, I came into the country too, seeking, better life for my family, right? And I like to take people back to the very, very beginning so that you understand. These are my kids. I'll say maybe I will been about 4 or 5 years in the UK here. My first one was about 6 when we came in. And then my last baby, who's going to be 17 now, was who I actually first came to have. And she was the main reason that we ended up relocating, because my children loved it here. And this is one thing that I want to leave with you. What we started doing is, at the beginning, it was very, very hard. It was a bit challenging because we came in as highly skilled. And when you are a high flyer in your country and you come to a new country and it's like each time you apply for positions, they make you feel like you are a nobody, you don't know what you're doing. It's as if you are no longer that confident person, that high flyer from the country, and they totally almost strip you of the things you're bringing with. So we started doing something with my family. And if you've never been doing this, I would say try it with your family. Is creating vision boards. Now, vision boards start with you actually seeing yourself where you need to be, not what your situation is telling you that you are. And seeing far beyond and having representation of that. And it's all about the principle of faith. That they said the things that having the things that we have not seen, but being able to actually put a picture to it. So these are my kids. We do vision boards, just recreating, and this totally changed the trajectory of our of what we started getting in the UK, because we started attracting the right things, because we were seeing and allowing the God. I'm a Christian, allowing God to help us to create. And I don't just do it with my family, I do it in the community. This is one of the primary schools that I was able to do it with. So secondary school, universities, we've done quite a bit. And my first book, the book Super Get Super Woman, the Ultimate Guide to Female Leadership, was more about that, helping creating the vision. This is my family. This is about 2 years ago when we did our 24th year wedding anniversary. And the reason I'm doing this is going beyond finance. We are human beings, we are family beings, and there's a lot that will start connecting from there. Because why do we do what we do? In fact, why did we come? Okay, all right, some experiences. I like to do this because what I do now actually has helped me to be able to live a better life, I would say, be able to impact my family. And when you do travel, you get to experience other places. It's like it's still part of our learning, right? And so I promote lots of things within the community. I'm a politician. Maybe I slow down a little bit on the politics because I'm a conservative, because this terrain, and the focusing on building the business. And I do quite a lot, like I said. Now, the question I always start with is this thing that we call life. And at times people leave it intentionally. At times people assume, yeah, we're just here, but there's a whole lot of thing to this game called life, because we only get to play it once. Literally, whatever you have to do on earth, you get every chance to do it within this covers of having good health, good wealth, having good family experiences, and there are two definite dates in our lives, right? One of them we know it. So if I ask for your date of birth, everybody knows it. I was born 13 October, right? And for all of you, you have a date of birth. And the second date that we do all have is a date of death. And the question I ask people is, how intentional are we about living between that date of birth and the date of death? Because it's definitely for everybody. It's definitely for everybody, but nobody knows the date of death. Well, we're all going to go one day. And when we talk about financial planning at times, and this is what I say to all my clients, when we talk about financial planning, we plan with the worst case scenario, expecting the best case scenario. But one thing is definite, we will all pass away one day. We pray we see our 80s, our 90s, our 100s as God, as Jesus tarries, right? But between the date of birth and date of death, life happens. And life could be long, life could be short, life could be full of events, life full of events like, okay, we grow up, we'll get grow up, be teenagers, we have all our paroles, and we go to university if we do, or you have a trade, start earning, people do fall sick, and the thing is, as healthy and wealthy that we are, there is a question about being financially resilient. And I think I got to understand more of that when I came to the UK. Because while there in Nigeria, I think life could be a bit easier, because it's not like here in this country where everything is taxed away. You've been taxed like almost 45% at the source. When you go to the shops, and that's like 15, 17, 21%. Everything, everywhere they're hitting you, like your real income is getting hit every single time. Now the question is, how financially resilient are we as we are building, right, our wealth in the UK? Now, what is financial resilience? It's your ability to withstand life events and that impacts your finance. Sorry, I'm struggling with some of this. Give me a moment. I'm trying to get the chat away again. My screen. Okay, all right. Makes sense. Okay, all right. So the question is, how financially resilient are you? And it is also the longer term approach to your relationship with money. And with all the consultations that I've been, and I've had, thousands of consultations with people and different stories, I've seen that quite a lot of people are living on the edge of, I'll say, disaster, because most people are just one salary away from calling everybody and say, oh, I'm in need, or I can't pay my bills, or something's happened to my baby, or because in the UK just make it so challenging at times for you to have that bulk money. And again, when you have the bulk money in your savings account, the next bit of legislature is coming again to dip into the interest that you're going to be getting on that savings. I'm like, where do you hide in this country? And so this is the reality of where we are in this United Kingdom, right? The longer term approach to your relationship with money is important. And if unexpected expense were to arise, having the financial means to deal with it means you are financially resilient. The question is, right? And you don't necessarily have to answer it into the chat group for this one. But I want you to have it at the back of your mind and ask you that question. If anything happens today and an illness occurs or a death occurs in the family, how many months' salary do you have saved, and how long can you actually depend on that before you start feeling the stress of, oh my God, and the next money needs to come in? And that's how we talk about, what we'll talk about and why this is very, very important. Sorry, my slides are moving again. Give me a moment. Let me know when you can see my slides.
We can see it, but it's not in presentation mode yet.
Okay. Technology. Okay, resume section. Okay, all right. So I like to kind of like give you a picture, and this is also in my book, the book on insurance. For some of you that have read it, and for some of you that have not read it, I will strongly recommend it because I actually wrote it in such a way that when you picked up that book, you know how to have a a talk about your financial plan with an advisor. Obviously, I want to be your advisor, right? So I ask question about 28,000 days, right? And when I do ask that question, the answer that most people give to me when I say, okay, what do you understand by 28,000? Everybody talks about money. But you know what? An average person that lives in the UK, if you Google it, it says for a woman, it's about age 80 to age 82 years on earth. Now, for someone that lives long, people do pass away. I lost my mom when she was 59. I lost her to diabetes. And that was a few years ago. So she never really actually saw 60. My dad, I lost to cancer, prostate cancer. It was 61. So people live, and I know some of you are here that your parents are still in their 80s and some are in their 90s, right? But you know what? What could stop us from actually getting to those old age? That different things that happen, but people do get to the old age, right? Now, if we work with the statistics that the UK has and say that let's even take an average of that 28,000, this is approximately 80 years on earth. Between age 0 to 20, people are not earning because you are still in school, you're growing. By the time I remember that I had my first job when I was 24, going on 25. Yes, I've had my business since I was 17. So I've always made money. But the main income after I graduated from uni was about 24, 25, right? And that's in my second quarter. So with this 28,000 days, I want you to, if you can take a snapshot of this, please take a snapshot of this and just sit down and do this plan and see where you are at your period in life on this one. Now, so age 0 to 20, not really a lot of income coming in. But between 20 and 40, yes, you start making money, right? Let's say from 25. By the time you're 25, for me, I got married, I started having kids, bought my first car maybe about 26 or so. By the time you're age 40, you're already getting into that good like mentorship at work, at business is becoming, life gets easier because now you have experiences and you can change your job, right? Because you've done different things. But by the time between 40 and 60, you are thinking, okay, retirement, because right now you're now supporting your children that may now be in the first quadrant, right? So a lot of money is going on through there, right? From 60 to 80, it should be more about passive income because averagely now the retirement age is about 67, although they're trying to make it to 68 again. They actually really want people to work till they die so that they won't get access to the pensions that will be contributed all our life. But it is what it is. That's the situation that we have in the UK. Now, if you look at this picture, right, and you want to determine where you are at in your journey of life, are you in the very, very active income earning, or are you already getting to that point that you should actually be looking at, let me be planning for retirement? This will influence the things that are supposed to be, right? And the question is, how savvy are you? How financially resilient are you in those active years? So if you're to spend 28,000 days on earth and 14,000 out of it should actually be no active income coming in, meaning most of the things that you need to earn should be between your 20 and 60. That gives you just half of the lifetime to gather all work and all money and plan for those days that you may not have to definitely work. And the question is, if you're living in the UK today, what is the plan? Now, let me give you some statistics of what happens when we live, right? Like I said, people do live long, but at times illness occur, right? And here's statistics in the UK today and even globally that out of every single person looking at me right now, 2 out of each one person will have a diagnosis within the family or friendship of cancer in their lifetime. I'm not saying they're going to die of cancer. They don't say, but diagnosis of cancer. That is meaning 50% chance of having a critical illness. And it is staring at us right in our face. And what I've seen when this such period happens is financially, it's really, it puts us in a very bad state. And I'm speaking from experience right now. I know what it was like when my father was going through a critical illness. I wished he had come across somebody that's talking about such things. I wish he had had some monies, planned. I wish they had some insurances in place. But no, we had to really go through a hard time to make sure that he has the best care. And that means it default on the child, right? Now, there are over 53 critical illnesses that they find in the UK, especially by the insurance. And so when we are building, we're looking at, okay, if anything happens and something actively stops my active income from coming in, how do I bounce back from that? Some people say, you know what? Yeah, the government will take care of me. Statutory sick pay is less than £100 per week. We know how much we pay for rent. So literally, you cannot really live on that. Okay, and the question I'm not asking is, why do we work so hard, especially as women, as sisters in this space in the United Kingdom? So many reasons we work hard. So very many reasons. One, yeah, you're entitled to live a good life. I want to live a good life. I want to create the amazing life, be okay to travel, be okay to eat what I want to eat or wear what I want to wear. And I can afford it because I've gone to school. They told us, study, go to school, get your degrees. I can count how many degrees I've got. I've got so many professional certifications just to make sure that at least I can pick and choose what I do. Maybe at times we're doing it because our children got to go to great schools and they do deserve to do that. or build a fantastic family. Yeah, ride lovely cars. We should look good. We should, have great things. Now, the question is, when it comes to the UK, when we're building wealth, here are the UK wealth statistics. The first one is a total wealth of all households in the Great Britain is about 286,600 as at 2016. That's an average white household. What is the average for a black household? It's about £34,000. That's just an annual salary. So in our community, there's a lot of wealth strategies that we don't know, maybe because we didn't grow up here, or maybe nobody is really actually talking to us, or maybe because we also just have that consumer mindset that, okay, once I have my money, I consume, and not just investing. The number three statistic I want you to look at also is the household with a white British head were approximately 9 times likely to be at the top quarter of wealth, with almost about 1 million, to those of Black African ethnicity. Number 4, statistics of household with financial debt that see the financial asset is highest among the Black. Almost 50%. Now, let me even stop sharing and just like tell a real life story of one of the people that have been, people that have actually, supported during, hard times. All right, this is a story of one of my clients. I remember that when I went through consultation with her, just telling her, okay, what should and what should be. And she's been my client for about 4 years. I'm allowed to share this story because she allowed me. I won't name names, but I think her story is also featured in my book because she's giving her. So when I came across this way, she's a project manager, earning 6 figures actually, so earning well. So we did some financial planning for her, to build that resilience. So we did some life insurance, we did some critical illness cover, we had some private medical insurances in place. And one thing that always lead with when I'm doing this financial consultation is income protection. Now, what is income protection? I'll go through that quickly. Income protection is just like your own personal sick pay. The average thing, the plan A is go to work, or do your contract, do your business, earn your income, set out your bills, do some do some insurances, do some savings, take care of things, right? That's plan A. But the thing is, the plan B is, what if something happens and I'm not able to earn this money actively? And what could stop that? It could be sickness, it could be everyday thing, it could be like physical illness, or it could be mental illness. Now, the UK is really big on make sure that you're okay mentally. A lot of us as women, we plow through life not taking care of ourselves because we take care of every other person. And that is, at times you're feeling stressed, at times, people are going through anxiety, people are going through depression. A lot of things are happening because relationships at times are breaking down. So I always leave it, oh baby, if anything happens to you and you're not able to work, how do you sort out? Sheun, I don't know, but you know what? I'm looking at this premium. I'm not ready. I'll think about it later. All right. So we did some life insurance, we did some critical illness cover, did every other thing. We did not take income protection because in the order of expensive, income protection should be is like the most. However, it's the one that pays out the most, right? Because people fall ill, not critically, but everyday thing you can call your employer and say, oh, I'm not able to work, So we did every other thing, but we didn't do income protection. And then maybe about 2-3 years later, I worked with her, now she's ready to buy a house. And I remember initially when I did the first policy for her, I asked her, what about your husband? Does he have anything? He said, that one doesn't want to hear about insurance, so you think I want to kill him. I said, no, let me speak to him as a professional, right? So don't bring it up. Let me speak to him, right? Because now here's what I want you to do. If you have a life insurance, you're watching me now, well done, right? Now, here's what I'm going to say. Your life insurance is for your children and your spouse, right? And so to cover your own back as a woman, your husband or your partner must have a life insurance because that takes care of you and your children. People assume it's the man that will go first, right? But at times, it happens to the women too. Anyway, let me go back to my story. So I asked then initially when I set up the policy, so let me speak to your husband, let's put something in place because now with this fantastic thing that you put in place, if anything happens to you, the young man is sorted though. And you will remarry and, life goes on. But God forbid, if anything happens to him, how do you take care of 4 children without an extra money in place? He said, okay, Sheun, let's leave it for now. And that's me. See, my duty as the advisor is to open your eyes and to help you to, through that, to put something in place. But see your decision to take action or not to take action. So if you are watching me now, you've never taken action, I put a link in the chat group. Please click on that, because I'll be coming back to you to give you a time, for personal chat, and we can go through what you have. Even if you have something in place, we'll look through it and be sure that it's the right one for you. Anyway, back to my story. So 2 years later, I've worked with her, help her to strategize, and then she now has the money to buy her first house. So when she bought the house, I did all the insurance aspect of it, and I brought back that conversation again. Now our debt profile has increased. Yes, a house is an asset on one side, but it's also a liability, because you only pay the mortgage company. You pay them a percentage, and you pay every month. Your gbese. I'm Yoruba. Gbese is just you pay back. What you're owing. So, and I said it to her again. Number one, income protection, because if you fall sick, if anything happens and you don't pay, if you don't pay your mortgage, unfortunately, if you miss 2 mortgages, it doesn't matter how much you contributed, even if, sorry. Okay, all right. So it doesn't matter how much you've contributed, even if maybe you owe 500,000, you pay 450,000, it only remains 50,000. You miss 2, they will collect everything done, because it is not your house yet. So I said to her, let me speak to your husband, because your risk profile has increased. Your husband needs to have something, and let's do income protection. Work together. Right? Okay. She said, Sheun, don't speak to my husband yet. Give us some time, because this house that I bought, I was supposed to have started buying like 5 years ago, but my husband says, wait. But because it wasn't ready, I just have to go ahead and do this so I don't spend the money. So we're still fighting that I've gone ahead to buy this house in my own name. I said, okay. All right. So she did not take that. She did not take the income protection, and then she did not allow me to speak to her husband. Cut long story short, they moved into the house in July, right? So we did the insurance in June. So first premium paid July. By mid-August, the same year, that means about 5 weeks later, she just sent me a message, Sheun, my husband just passed. Guys, for real, the job that I did, the job that I do, stared me in the face reality of what a yes or a no could mean. Folks, if I had spoken to the husband, even if the husband wasn't ready to pay the premium, even if she was good, because we cannot do insurance behind your husband's back. We have to agree, he has to agree that he does it, but you can pay the premium if he doesn't want to pay the premium, because that insurance is your own. Anyways, I don't speak to the husband, because she said, no, I can't force myself, because you know how it is now, right? If it had only been, even if it's just 100,000 pounds, I don't think the premium would be more than 30 pounds, because of it. It was just for 30 years, by the way, with no pre-existing condition. 100,000 pounds will have gone.
I don't want to. Should have asked them. I've eaten.
Sorry, we're hearing the word. All right. 100,000 will have been paid out. And peradventure was about the mortgage that will cover on the husband's side. If as the husband passed, they will have paid off the whole amount, and she'll have been able to have time to even mourn her husband. Remember, now she has 4 children, 2 figure income became 1. She started, she really started feeling depressed, because right now everything is on her. And even the job that she was doing, she had to stop because she couldn't cope. Remember, she did not even take income protection. Income protection will have paid her 2 years' income every single month. And she will have had time to readjust her life. And this is the reality of talking about financial protection, that when you are building, it is also important for you to protect. so that you don't just build for another man, for another woman to come to inherit. Because even in the UK, you have to be strategic about the way you plan your legacy, because you can work, and you want to pass it to your children. If you do not prepare for inheritance tax, which is 40% of the remaining that is remaining, then your children will not even be able to inherit what you built. Now, I'm going to show you the reality of what I'm saying now. I'm going to go back to I wanted to share that story because each time I think about that story, suddenly what I say to people, yeah, we end up going to do all the things that she didn't want to do, but was almost late because now she has something on the file that they have to exclude. She was no longer covered for it. So, and now the main time for you to have your insurances in place is before life starts happening. Because, yeah, it is devastating, Antonia, but that's the reality of life. And for some people that just newly moved into the UK, I'm still trying to settle down. I don't need to do insurance yet. Folks, the more reason we need to do insurance. Another story, just somebody, a medical doctor came into the country within 6 months, passed away, left a wife and 2 young children. They don't even know how they're going to stay in the country. Yeah, hopefully maybe maybe the UK government will look at them on sympathy terms and be able to support them. But that means another GoFundMe that has to be done, because why does it have to be always our community that will keep doing GoFundMe when we can actually plan ahead and put that in? So we plan with the worst case scenario and pray for the best case scenario. So when I'm doing financial planning with you, or my team is doing with you, we're looking at what your situation is and be able to advise you. Because not just about earning. It's also making sure that if you cannot earn actively, you have support without having to go to beg people, oh, uncle, auntie, helping. There's not a lot of uncle or auntie in the UK that can help you, because in Nigeria, there's free money. In the UK, everybody is hustling hard. But yeah, it is the truth. I'm going to go back to my slide. Just 1 moment. I want you to look at, when it comes to building legacy, what does it look like? I'm sure a lot of you will have been hearing about inheritance tax in the news. Let me tell you the reality of what it looks like. Yeah, I was talking about income protection. And that's why I always talk about income protection, because this has saved a lot of my clients and reality, right? Income protection gives you a monthly tax-free salary if you're unfit to work, right? It ensures you can afford to take time to get well, both mentally and physically. Some people rush back to work even when they are not feeling up to, because you cannot afford for that money not to come in. But that income protection allows you to just chill and be okay and be a human being and be a woman that needs to be taken care of. If you're a contractor, especially if you have 0-hour contract and all, it is your own personal sick pay. And if you're a business owner, it's your personal income if you're unfit to work. Because as limited liability company owners, if you own one, you know that if you're not working, you are not even qualified for statutory sick pay, right? So let's talk about life insurance. Life insurance, everybody knows about that. It helps protect your loved one, right? It's the right thing to do. So the way I separate this to make people understand, right? Life insurance is the right thing to do because you've got dependents. You may have children, you may have spouse, you may have a partner. It pays off the debt. So in that case of the lady I just talked to you about, if they also had the life insurance, they will have paid off the mortgage. And that means she has a free house to live in and she can take care of the other expenses, because now, her income may be enough. It also allows you to leave inheritance and create generational wealth. This is lacking in the Black community. Generational wealth in the UK. It allows you to pay ahead of inheritance tax. I'm going to share with you what that means right now. And also gives you peace of mind. Let's talk about inheritance tax, because some of you, I know you've seen it. I'm just going to break it down. So let's say peradventure, you built some wealth in the UK, and let's say your legacy is about £1 million, and that includes your house, which if you live in London, your house may be worth maybe 700k or so. And if you don't have one yet, don't worry. By God's grace, you have your own home, your own investment in this country. In Jesus' name, everything will work well for you, right? permit me to use that because I'm a Christian, right? So I'll talk to you about the reality. So let's use 1 million as your estate. Some people have 10 million, some people have 100 million in their estate. The more you have, the more we have to be strategic about the way we plan your estate so that it is transferable to your to the next generation. It's now generational. So let's say, for example, your everything, your stocks, your ISA, everything that you've got, your gold and everything, including the house, everything amounts to 1 million. I'm just using 1 million because it's a round figure. Now, in the UK, there's what we call the nil rate ban. So that is the amount that you're allowed to transfer without paying tax on, right? So 325,000. If you live in Milton Keynes that I live in, an average house is about, let's say, £450,000. So already your children will have to pay to be able to inherit that. It doesn't talk about you have finished paying your mortgage. No, it doesn't talk about that. It doesn't talk about every other taxes that you paid. No, it is that house that is remaining. Remember that if you're a higher additional tax higher taxpayer, that's what 5%. So you actually did build your wealth with 55% of what you were earning. Okay, so come back to this. The tax incurred on £1 million is going to be 40% of £675,000 because you have removed £325,000 that they will not tax. Folks, how many people in the Black community have £270,000 saved anyway to be able to, for the children to pay to inherit £1 million worth of estate? And these £270,000, HMRC will collect it first. So they can't even sell the house to pay it. Before, and people are like, okay, so how would the government know? In fact, they know once somebody dies and they send the death certificate, HMRC has access to all those information, so they put the estate together, and until the probate is granted, nobody is touching it. So there are so many wealth within the Black community that is with HMRC that the children cannot claim because they have not prepared ahead of time that one day we will all pass away. And this thing, the wealth that we're not building, we want to give it to our family. Now, if I may ask you this question, how many of you are building wealth so that we can give it to the king? Please, if you're building to send it to for your children or your spouse to inherit, please put 1 in the chat group. I want to see. And if you are building it to give it to Baba Charles, the king, put 2 in the chat group. I'm watching you. So why are you building your wealth? To give it to the government? 2. To give it to my children? 1. Let's see. Oh, Stella wants to give it to the king. Tobore, 1. Okay. Stella, I see you. So if we are building, okay, I see 1. Flo, I see you. Chisholm, I see you. 1. I see you guys. So if we are building to give it to our children, that's why we definitely need to have a conversation. I know some of you have done the right thing. Aniki, yes, I see you. iPhone, I see you. 1. We want to give it to our children now. So if we want to do that, then we have to be strategic in the way we plan. And that's why I'm having this conversation. And that's why when I had a conversation with Tobor, he said, Dr. Sheun, please speak to my team. Let's see what we can do. Let's see. Some people will have some. However, let's be sure that everybody is taken care of. And that's why we're having this. I want to go back to my slide. Okay. I don't know how to get back there. Hey. Everyone. Just give me a moment. I'm trying to come out of the chat group. I'm going to stop sharing and then see if I can come back. Okay. All right. So I'll start sharing again just to help me get back to. All right. So I see all the ones and some mistaken too. See, it's a heart-to-heart talk, sisters, right? The UK is a different environment. And they said when you're in Rome, behave like a Roman. And if we're going to plan, we have to plan to make sure that we're not just hustling for hustling's sake. We're hustling for legacy. And another thing that I come across when I'm doing presentations is, my father did not leave me anything. My children will take care of themselves. They will fine. At least they will have grown. No. That's why an average white community will always have something behind. Oh, my grandma left me this, so I can buy my first house. Let us stop talking about poverty in our community. Let us start talking about generational wealth. And the cheapest way for you to have generational wealth is life insurance. So life insurance is not yours. It's the right thing to do to send ladder down the next generation. So let us not eat everything. And then income protection is your personal sick pay covering your own back. Critical illness cover, everybody. The rule of thumb for critical illness cover is you have between 1 year to 2 years your annual income in critical illness cover because the lump sum that's paid. Personal story. Right now, my younger sister is going through this health challenge and we've been on this for 3 years. Imagine what that did to her savings and what that did to her business. If she did not have me to support her, it's going to, I had to tell her, you know what, just focus on getting well. Because I thank God that I'm able to support her financially. But if she did not have me, guys, I don't know what the situation will be because we have to pay for chemo every 3 weeks. And it's not small money, guys. It is not small money. And we've been on this 3 years in a row. Did I ever pray for that? Did I ever see that coming? That is my own personal blow. We are just 3. Our parents are gone, so I'm father and mother. So, guys, when we're talking of financial planning, she protects, she leads, she leaves a legacy. We want this, whatever you're building now, we want it to outlive you. And maybe you're watching me and you're not in a present role and you're thinking, oh, I even need to get there. There's hope, guys, because right now I'm also encouraging a lot of women to come into the finance industry because the industry is getting bigger and we're very, very outnumbered. One, whether black or white, the finance is very masculine. So there's a lot of opportunity for you. And so right now, this year, my goal is to help 100 women earn 6 figures being financial advisors. So I'm putting myself out there to be able to mentor people that say, Dr. my hands are here, lift me, and they're ready to put in the work. By God's grace, I'll talk to you about my company. It's called Emergence Financial Services. And we are one of the very few Black-owned insurance brokerage firm in the UK. We are directly authorized by the FCA. So if you put our FCA number there, 991640, FCA said, we trust you because our community, this industry is very, very white or Asian. Now we're helping more people. I said to people that becoming a financial advisor or protection advisor, you start with protection advisor, is the UK's #1 kept secret of building a sustainable 6-figure business if you are someone that is coachable, teachable, and you're ready to go. Now, if you are on COS for COS for healthcare, you are a bit restricted, except if it's your partner that is the main person. So I'll talk to you a little bit about that one and how you can protect yourself. And we can also train you to help some people, whether you want to do that part-time or you want to do it as a full-time. There are both opportunities available in there. All right, so I've talked to you about own estate. So I'm going to go back to the beginning of where I started. Life is a journey. It is a game. When you win at a game, you want to play more. And I want you also to be intentional about the way we play, especially as women in the United Kingdom today. There are many opportunities. Yes, at times we're looking after children and we cannot even look up because we are so burdened by a lot of things. But you have to really, really sit down and strategize. Date of birth, date of death. The line in between is life happening. It could be eventful, things to prepare for. You need to prepare for your children's education. There's a percent that you're supposed to save. Start now. Let it not just come. They're going to have to go to university and suddenly but we saw it coming, right? But if you don't plan properly, we may not be able to support them. Retirement is coming, guys. It's another, and you have to think about that now. If not, it suddenly comes and you see, oh, I'm in my 50s, I'm in my 60s, and then there's a panic because you just came into the UK relatively and you have to build from the beginning. That happens to all of us. We pray we'll live very, very long, but we'll all go one day. Now, here are my parents. That's my dad on the left, and that's my mom. And this was my introduction. That was 2003, right? So we'll be 23 years this year in marriage, myself and my husband. And I would say this was the last time we really were together, everybody in one place. Because after this, my dad took ill and I lost him. So the question is two ways. You can decide, I want to be selfish. Yeah, don't worry, my children will take care of themselves. My spouse will take care of if anything happens to me, yeah, everybody is good. Because yeah. Or you can decide to be selfless because be building generational wealth, building a legacy is an act of being selfless because you can think about you. It's always a choice. Who is Emergence Financial Services? We are founded by a team of financial experts and consultants with vast industry experience. We're directly authorized by the FCA, and that's a big deal. We are happy we achieved that a couple of years ago. And people are like, Dr. how did you do it? God did it. But we had to lift our hand and we have to put things in place. You know what it is when FCA is coming and say, put on a structure. So we are professional at what we do. That's our FCA number. If you put it in, you see everything about our company. We promote a culture of team and family. I will provide support for anybody within us, our customers, and advisors that join us. Our premiums are not loaded, meaning whatever insurance we put in place for you here, you know you are paying a fair price, right? And if you already have your insurance in place, if we review it, we may save you a few pounds because what we've done is to put ourselves in a place where we can help more people, especially within this Black and ethnic minority community. We pride ourselves with professionalism and excellence. We don't do halfway, and we put our clients at the center of everything that we do. This is important to us. So what do? We help you with your life insurance, your income protection. A lot of people are now asking me about private medical insurance. If you are in the UK, if you can afford it, especially if you're over 40, you definitely need to have a private medical insurance. You don't want to trust your future, your health into the hands of the NHS because trust me, it's not looking too good in there. We help you with your business or financing loan, wills and estate planning, mortgages. And so here's what I'm going to say to you guys. Yeah, you have three options as we have this conversation. Number one, say, Doctor, I have some insurances. You know what? Have a look at me, helping to review. Let me see if you can make it better, right? And number two says, you know what? I know what you're hearing and what you're saying. I have some protection in place, or I don't have. I want to sort myself out. And I'm also looking at earning some extra income part-time. I would love to be a part-time financial advisor, right? And a three says, yeah, you know what? I love what I'm hearing. I want to protect myself and I want a career in finance and I want you to help me. That's a three. So I want you in your chat group, if you're a one, a two, or three, please write it on there. And I still want you to click on the link so that after this, we can have a proper conversation about which route you want to go. Obviously, have a team. So even if you don't hear from me, you're going to hear from my team to be able to help you. So now we're going to open up the chat for questions that you may want to ask. Here we help successful individuals gain access to best advice-based insurance packages that save them money and headache in the UK market. So if you're on Instagram, you can connect with me. If you're on LinkedIn, that's my name is Dr. Sheun on LinkedIn. Connect with me also there. And this is the book I was talking to you about, the book on insurance. It helped a lot of people. So it's on the website and also on Amazon. It has brought insurance and financial planning to everyday language. It makes it good conversation. So you know what to ask, what to talk about, how to structure. And all right, so I'm looking at the chat group now. That's my first book, Spaghetti Superwoman, The Ultimate Guide to Female Leadership. And you can also grab a copy of that on okay, so I'm looking at the chat group before we start questions. Okay, any plans for all single ladies? Okay, so Hetty, there's a lot of plans for single ladies because it's only single ladies that also that become double, and people choose to stay single. There's nothing stop. It's getting married is not. I'm not saying it's for everybody, right? Because you may not have the right person, And I also say MRS is overrated if you are with the wrong person. So you definitely, so yes, single ladies, you definitely, can we address travel, elderly family members that visit? Yes, that's one thing that I see that's evolving also. When it comes, let me stop sharing my screen so that we can talk art to art. Okay, I've seen two. All right. So as you're doing two, how many of you have you seen the chat group, the click on that? Can you click into that so that we can have conversation? And also this is my number, 074. Let me put my number here. 074 11857200. You can also reply to that with a text, free consultation, and then well, if you click into the chat group, it's easier because you just click. Um, I think Tobere may also send it maybe onto the wall so that it's easier. Just click in and they will be able to have. All right. So let me go back to the questions that you're asking. Oh, thank you very much, Eti. All right. So if you want to talk, maybe just should I say unmute? Travel for elderly family. So that's one thing also that I'm speaking to insurance companies about, because like I said, we broker for all the insurance companies in the UK. And I've seen that most of the products that are designed did not have us in mind, because they grew up here. Everything that they have is here. But with us, with a lot of big diaspora, especially within the last 3 years, a lot of people came in from Nigeria, doctors, nurses, healthcare assistants came a lot. So these products some of them are now being designed for elderly. So if your elderly don't stay in the UK yet, there is not a lot. But if they stay in UK, I can see the same. If they stay in the UK, then there are some things. So a typical example of how I was able to help one of my clients, but because when I set up that policy for her, well, she's my client, but I just asked her about her mom. That, you know what, I know you're an Ada, meaning she's the first child. I was asking her, how far with mom? Because I saw, say, do you have a lot of savings? Because mama will go one day. Say, she'll no savings anywhere. Say, why don't you let's do something? So I was able to do over 50s plan for the mom. But as at that period, she was in the UK. She did not die in the UK. Less than 2 years later, she actually did pass on. And that money was able to help her to make sure that she sorted out the burial. It was a lifesaver. But that's because the mom stayed here for a bit before she went to Nigeria, right? So I will be able to keep you posted on what comes on with travel. But if your elderly parents came into the country and they are ill, it's not if you can't take them to the hospital. You can. They will take care of them. Of course, you may have to pay the bill, right? Yeah. Any question? Any other question? So, Hetty, by saying any hope for the single ladies, what exactly are you asking? If you want to unmute yourself, it's fine. So I've seen 222. Like I said, guys, just click on, even if you have something in place, and we'll take a look at what you've got and make sure that it's better. If we can't make it better, we'll leave it the way it is. But if we can make it better, by all means, we'll be able to do that for you, right? So just click on the link and then you'll be able to be able to come in. I've seen some people in already. Fantastic. I'm seeing you, right? So if you've not clicked in yet, please click in. And what it should be is that you get a call from me or you get a call from one of my team members to be able to help you. Everybody's professional. They will definitely walk through what needs to be done. So please click on that link and they will be there. It allows us to reach out to you. They will call you and do that. So I've seen a lot of tutu. All right, let me tell you what is available when it comes to, and I'll tell you how I got started. Now, what I've also seen is most people got into the industry because somebody they knew was in the industry. This information is not all over the place. Most people don't even know that being an insurance or protection agent or advisor is a very viable business model. Now we get paid commissions, right? So you only get paid on who you are able to help. So obviously, the more people you're able to help, the more the insurance company is going to reach out and say, okay, yeah, we trust you. If you have been denied, yes. Yes, if you have been denied before, I will also walk you through what can be. So you will definitely get your cover. And now, another thing I wanted to say here is sounding a note of warning, guys. If you have put on an insurance before and you did not disclose something, it's a legal ground for not payment of your claim. People came to the country of into the UK and say, insurance company, they don't pay. Insurance company, they pay. If insurance company falls up in the UK, there is a financial compensation scheme. You never lose. So there's nothing like that. Somebody will fall, like it's happening in Nigeria. Somebody falls up and suddenly your money is gone. No, it doesn't happen in the UK. So fear not. But what can stop your claim for being paid is if you have misrepresented information on your application. Because at the point of application, there may not be any need for them to check it. But when they are going to pay, they will go to check what your medical history was when you started the policy. If it does not align what you've said or you omitted something, it's a ground. So now let me tell you a true story of someone that I'm helping now. I really wished that I had known this couple before all of this happened. And let me just share this because I share a lot of stories because I come across a lot of stories. And because it's also within our Black community, I know it may click with some people. It may allow you to have some eureka that this thing is real. All right. So a friend of mine just called me, who also was a part-time advisor with us, for a bit. She's a BA. She said, Sheun, I really wanted to help somebody. Is it okay for me to give him your number? So I said, okay, what's the issue? She said, just speak to him. All right, so this is the issue. So this man had just lost his wife and they were trying to make a claim, right? And then they've emailed him, that they were going to check, the medical records and da. So I told him, email me what they emailed to you so that I understand the full story. Now, the wife had some medical condition, and obviously she's been advised in the UK of how to go about it, but she was told in Nigeria that they could handle it better. I don't know why you take Nigeria over UK. I don't know why somebody would, but that was what happened. To cut a long story short, she went to Nigeria. She did the procedure. Unfortunately, it went wrong. So they came back to the UK, and unfortunately, we lost her, right? But when they came into the UK about a few years ago, they actually had life insurance in place, and they have a mortgage, right? So I was like, praise God, at least there's something that can come out. Because when life happens, guys, if the money is the issue, people don't even have time to mourn, because death in the UK is a lot of things, because you have to deal with probate, you have to deal with HMRC, you have to deal with the employer and see what you can get. We have not even talked about putting the money together to actually bury that person. All right. So they've reached out to the insurance company, and this is what happened. There was a disclosure, and they've seen it. Yeah. And they've seen it in the and when they emailed him back, I was like, oh my God. So if that person had disclosed that medical history on the application, it won't have been that policy that she has. Yes, she will have been able to get something else that will have been able to pay out. But the sort of insurance that she got, they wouldn't have approved it if they had seen that. And they also was now making me to realize that there was a time that she applied with somewhere and it was declined. So she applied somewhere else and did not disclose this one. Cut long story short, I've been able to help him, wrote to the insurance company and everything. They will refund the premium. At least it's something. But his life will have been much better because he will have been able to pay off the full mortgage. And then he will have been able to take care of himself. This man has not even mourned his wife because he's now in panic mode because big income from that woman is gone. He's alone. Guys, I pray we'll never have to lose our loved ones. It's hard. So if you've done your insurance before and you think, they won't know. They will know. UK has data. They will access the data. And if you were smoking before, or maybe you do vaping and you did not disclose on your application, it's a ground for non-payment of claims. So don't lie. Whatever your situation is, so if you've been denied before, we will get you something, right? But we'll get you the right one that will be able to support you if you need it, but no lying. So if you have been denied, yeah, we'll get you something. So please click, Antonia, please click into the chat group. We will help you. How do we protect our finances for ourselves? Of course, I can't take out insurance for my non-existing spouse. Oh, okay. So you take out insurance for yourself, and the one that's relevant to you is your income protection and your critical illness cover, right? Also, do some life insurance because the younger you are, the cheaper the premium is. So this is the next best time for you to sort out your insurance because tomorrow is not promised because your health may be perfect now, but we don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. So don't wait till later. Let's do it now. All right. My dad's in his 80s, but very healthy. He comes to visit at the however, discussion came. If that is already over 80, there's no life insurance that can be done again, right? Even over 50s plan, they have, I think it's up to like age 79. But let's have a conversation, Teju. We may be able to explore funeral plan, but you definitely have to put money aside, guys. You have to put money aside because if he had been like maybe 70 something, it's easier to still get something. But once it's above 18, because, and another thing also is when someone is 80, they see him as already, over, he's already a short banker, it's coming, right? So between you and I, insurance is still a business, right? So it's calculated risk. So at times they specify during which I'm not seeing people buy houses or transferring houses to company names with their children initial. Is this for yes? And now here is the new policy that's now coming in for inheritance tax. You see, the government wants to dip their hand in your pocket every step of the way. Now they know that people are not going to, we want to set up trust and all of that. Even with you setting up trust, you say pay about 20% of taxes what you're putting in there. So it's not actually all free to pass on your inheritance, but there are ways around it, right? So yes, that's what people are doing, transferring to limited liability company because it now becomes an entity. It's no longer you, but there'll still be some tax liability. It may not be as much as 40%, but you will definitely pay something, right? So yeah. yeah, 30 years he is definitely. But I pray that lives up to 100. My grandfather lived up to about 125. 125. My grandmother, my dad's mom actually outlived all our children. It's sad, but it is what it is. It is what it is. So I say first thing, the first solution is start putting something on. Oh, bless you, Teju. Yeah. Is that at 99? Yeah. So the first thing is start putting money aside. You and your, because what insurance does is it actually amplifies your money. So just like if you take a 500,000 pounds life insurance right now, let's say for adventure, if you're young, maybe your premium is less than 50 pounds, right? Literally, if you pay this first month 50 pounds and God forbid death occurs tomorrow, maybe they've only collected 50 pounds, but they have to pay your family 500,000 pounds. So it's not literally the premium that you're paying the insurance company that they're paying back, right? So they actually want you to live long, but that element of risk is what they cover. And that's why I say, when it comes to everything, in the hierarchy of needs, when I'm talking to my clients, it's number one, income protection, because that's where the source is. God forbid, if that income does not come in, you may miss your rent, you may miss your mortgage, you can't eat, you can't do. So if you know your income is secured, at least you can have the peace of mind, go and do other things. So a percentage of the income, use it to
stretch your leg.
Right. And then secondly is a critical illness cover. That is your personal cover. And it's between 1 year to 2 years, your annual income. It's a lump sum paid, right? Once it's paid out, where there, please, if you mute yourself, please. Right. So if so income protection is yours, critical illness cover is yours, private medical insurance is yours, right? Life insurance is your family. But also, if you do critical illness cover, it can also pay out as a life insurance if you do life or critical illness cover, right? So in that order, so income. So if you don't have income protection at all, we definitely need to have a conversation, right? So we'll tell you what should be. We'll always work with the budget, so fear not. Insurance is not expensive if you look at benefits versus what you're paying, honestly. It's just the way we think about it. Please, can you advise on insurance of parents coming in briefly on visiting visa, right? So like I said, for all the insurances that cover all those like life and all of those, it's actually you need to be UK resident at least. So you are considered a UK resident if you spend at least 183 days in the UK. Anything more than that, at least at the setup of the policy. So if they don't live in the UK, we see what we can do. Let's have a conversation. We'll see work around, right? Do you have comprehensive covers all the policies like income protection? Yes, yeah, we do that. So, and it's always tailor-made. So so people will say, but this person is paying £20. Why am I paying £30? Or this person is paying £50. Why am I paying £15? Insurance is culture, right? It's literally tailor-made. So if you have gone to a designer to design according to you, if somebody else puts it on, cannot fit perfectly like that. So the things that affect your premium, your age, your health status, your smoking status, right? Of course, the amount that you want to cover. So if you want to cover £1,000,000, £1,000,000, and someone that's covering 200,000, your premiums are different, right? So, but your age is a big factor because the younger you are, the cheaper your premiums are, right? The older you are, yeah, you still have access to it, but obviously you pay more because literally it's risk weighting. The older people get, wear and tear do happen. Do you understand? So insurance also builds that in. So you tend to what the insurance that my children. So what I do for my children is once they're 16 years and 9 months, I make sure that they have their own life insurance. Why am I doing life insurance for them? It's not for them to go and die, go forbid, right? So they have life insurance, they have critical illness cover, they have private medical insurance, right? Now at that age, I'm still paying. I pay for them. Once my first two sons started, earning their income, I've transferred direct debit to their account because it's the principle. Because your insurance is the first foundation of wealth building, right? Once you have that, they can build on top of it. And I know because they are young, how much is so? I think for my middle son, his period was like maybe £18 or £20 or something. If I give him £18, you go to McDonald's. It's only one meal that's gonna bring out. But I've already solidified that he already has his insurance in a few hundreds of thousands, and then he can build from there because no bad habits yet. He's a sportsman. Don't understand? He's healthy, fit. He's young. The premiums are cheap, right? If you start taking other ones when he's older, then yeah, by all means. But that one is already there. Foundation of what building, right? Based on what you're saying about age, is there any age that you cannot be considered? All right. So for most insurance companies, you can start your insurance by 16 years, 9 months. No, one or two. Mainly, some are from 18 years. So that's about age 69. Some is about 70 something. Some is 80. So whatever your age is, if it's not above 80, we still have opportunity to be able to sort something out. For income protection, you literally, if you're over 60, unfortunately, no more income protection because they expect you to now be retiring. So between age 18 and age 59 for income protection for you to start, right? So there are different ways. So each situation is different, right? So just let's have that conversation. So we'll be able to tailor it according to your situation. But there's so even if you've been refused before, there are things that we can do with you, planning and we'll get to something. We'll definitely get some. And that's one of the things that I wrote in my book too. So I've been denied insurance. Do I just hold my hand up? No, we'll get to something. So we'll work with you, right? Because we have different relationships with different providers and different situations, we will get to something that is relevant to you. Okay. How fast can the policy be concluded? Okay, within minutes. If your health is perfect and the amount is not above, because there are different things that affect your underwriting responses. Underwriting responses are just what the insurance is, whether it's yes or we'll do it later, or we need to check your medical records, right? So if they don't need to check your medical records, immediately we're having that conversation, we submit the application, they approve. That's it. You're covered. And you're not paying your premium until, so even without you paying £1 yet, you are already fully covered, right? And maybe your premium comes out maybe 14 days later, or if you're the one that gets paid at the end of the month, maybe 20th of the month. But God forbid, immediately we submit that application. If anything happens to you tomorrow, to the policyholder tomorrow, without even paying £1, the policy that was approved will be paid out to the family. So that's why I said, when we have the conversation about your insurance, don't think, I want to go and be thinking about it. I know when people go out for a meal, they can spend £50 on the go. But when it comes to insurance, I'm still thinking. What are you thinking? Because if you sit down thinking and thinking and thinking, if anything happens and we've not submitted our application, unfortunately, there's nothing. Yeah. And does one need a full body checkup before? Not everyone, right? For some amounts, you need to do some checkup, right? So for some of the insurance companies, if your life insurance is more than like 400K, it depends on your age, then they'll send you a nurse to check you to be sure that everything that we've told them on the application is the truth. So they check your they call it cotinine test, so your saliva test, they check your blood pressure, check that your weight is what we have told them that it is, but with maybe 5 kg margin of error, right? They check your height, right? And then they make a decision, right? But for some people, they don't need to do anything. For some people, they are going to wait and check all your medical records, speak to your GP, pay the GP for the record. Why that? Right? It's because at times, especially when it comes to income protection, because income protection pays out like a lot because people fall sick. And if it's not physical sickness, people say they are stressed. You can't say they are not stressed. They say they are stressed. So people claim a lot on income protection. So before income protections, if you're applying for maybe over £2,000 payout per month, in most cases they want to do the checkup. But by the time it comes back, it means that your policy is watertight. So they can't come back and say, they have all gone to check before they made a decision. So at claim time, there's no headache again. So that's why at times I prefer a lot of policies that have gone into underwriting, because I know that it's now future proof. There's nothing that's coming out that they want to see again because they've already checked before they made a decision. So yeah, it's not everyone. So Stella, please click into the group and they will be calling you to see what we can do with you. Any other questions? Have I missed anything? I'm just going through. If you have any other one, is it only for income protection they do? No, it's for all the. So it depends on whatever we put it. So it could be critical illness cover, it could be income protection, it could be life insurance, and also for private medical insurance. So there are two ways to do private medical insurance, right? There's moratorium and there's full underwriting. Now, for full underwriting, what they're just going to do, won't submit the application. They want to check at the beginning if there's anything that you have on file, whatever, anything that you have on file that's a bit of concern. For the first 2 years, they exclude it, right? And they can pay on any other thing. So at the very, very beginning, you know exactly what you're covered for and what you're not covered for, right? That's full on medical underwriting. For the moratorium, they approve immediately. But it's just that when you now need to make a claim, right? They just, if you've ever complained about that issue in the last 3 years and so your medical history, they won't pay on, they won't, you can't make a claim on that until after 2 years. So it's kind of like, yeah, they'll cover you for any other thing except the thing that you already have in file. And I think it just makes sense. Just like you having an accidented car and you want to insure it. The car already has an accident, right? So the risk has already crystallized. So insurance is just risk management. And so the likelihood for the risk to crystallize, then at times your premium may be increased. So, okay, you know what, at the beginning we said it will be this, but we'll check your medical record. We think there's a bit of risk. For us to take on this risk, we may need to increase the premium. And that way, yes, if you can't afford it, you can reduce the cover amount. If you can afford it, take it on, you know that, it's there. Live your life. And this is what I say to my clients. Once you've done your insurance, right? Leave it there. That's your peace of mind. Then go and live your life. Live out loudly. Travel, do the courses, don't let your life be all about work, 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 do. So travel. I encourage people to actually live, right? But do the right things first. Yeah. You have a granddaughter, 3 months. Oh, bless you. In the UK, who our visa did not cover. Is there a private medical insurance we can take for her? For your granddaughter, 3 months born. Okay, your granddaughter is 3 months old now. And Chinyere Nwafo. Oh, bless you. All right. So please click into the group and then let's have a one-to-one conversation on what is possible. Okay. I believe there should be something that we should be able to do. Oh, bless you. Congratulations. I've got 2 grandkids, by the way. So when I heard about grandchildren, I'm like, oh, it's a blessing to be on that level. Thank God. Thank you very much. Thank you. Right. Any other questions? So for a lot of personal questions, right? Please, we'll have one-to-one time together with me or with my team members that will be calling out to you guys. Insurance is very intrusive, right? But the reason it's intrusive, in quote, is so that we can be sure that we're giving you the right advice and we're giving you the right policy for you, so that you know that, God forbid, if life happens, you're not alone. You won't have to deal with, financial headache. You can focus on getting things out of the way and life getting back on track. Yeah. Oh, thank you for the credit. Any other ones? Let me see. If I see you guys, please click in. Let's have you in there so that, yeah, I've got about, okay, bless you. Bidex, I see you in there. Right. And if you have a UK number, because I know a lot of you still have your Nigerian number for WhatsApp. But if you have a UK number, please send it to us, because we may not be able to reach you by Nigerian number. So you may literally use your UK number to join, or use your UK number to send a text and put your name there so that we know who sent it in, so that we can be able to serve you. I'm saying again, so if you want to be an advisor, obviously the number one thing is you have to go through our own process so that you know how it works, so that we help you with your set up your own insurance the right way first, and then we'll transition on to what next. If you're on COS, healthcare COS, I think there's a restriction for you. So it may be your partner or your husband that may be able to come in with no restrictions, because immigration is, you have to have the right the FCA are the biggest people to deal with when it comes to this legislation. So we want to be sure that you're not contravening the UK law. You need Motorayo, please, yeah. Click into Motorayo Badmos. Your name rings a bell. Please click into the group, and please you will contact you. Make sure that you use your UK number. My life insurance policy must be included. Okay. For my life insurance, must my husband be no. Okay, now that's another thing I need to address, right? People say, I do everything alone, together with my husband. Guys, joint policy is only applicable if you have a joint debt, right? Because literally, if you have £200,000 in life cover, right? And your husband has £200,000 in life cover. Let's say peradventure you're paying £20. That is to pay out for your children, meaning 200,000. If you pass on, goes to your children. 200,000 goes to your children. So that they have double cover. Yeah. If you use the same 200,000 and you say you're doing a joint cover, you will still pay that £40, maybe less £2. Like maybe you now pay £38 as joint cover. But if either of you passes away, they only pay £200,000. That's it. And that spouse may not be in a space to be able to get an insurance again, because maybe age, maybe health has changed or whatever. So if you have a joint cover, we would rather have you have your own, your husband has his own, right? That's the right way to do it. So that if anything happens, and at times relationship do go sour also. Those are all that real life situation I'm helping people navigate. So another client, yeah, did everything with the husband and everything, join everything, join. The relationship has gone sour. Right now, they have to change everything. But her health has changed. So she may not really be able to get the amount that she'll have been able to get if that had not happened. So yes, if you have a joint cover and it's not maybe because of your mortgage, because mortgage is just one. If you have the partner that is the pay of that amount, that's the end of that. Yeah. If that's all that you have, you also need to have a review. Please click into the group and we'll be able to help you. We say, okay, what insurance cover can be made for a child less than 16 years? Very good. So your children under 16 are covered under your own policy. So my children had because my first son will be 23. So by the time they turn 16 and 9 months, because some one or two providers allow 16 and 9 months, just going towards the 17th birthday, they can have their own, but they are also still covered under yours until they're out of full-time education. So really, if you have a critical illness cover with your children on it, they are covered until the age of 23, 21, between 21 and 23, or till they come out of full-time education. So your children, we can add them to your policy. And then there's also child safe. So there's a policy that allows you to actually have a particular one for your children. We'll also discuss that one. So Cynthia, please click click the link and then we'll definitely deal with that. So yes, there's something for them, but they're also so it's double covered. They're also covered under yours. Okay. Any other, I think any other thing for you? Whatever the case may be, please click click the link. And I think this is also being recorded. Tober, are we being recorded? So that people can watch this
Yes,
and
we're being recorded.
Yes, please. If you click into the link with your Nigerian number, we will need your UK number to be able to reach you. So please send a text with your UK number, right? At times, okay, for people that call me straight from WhatsApp, at times I'm a bit worried because I get a lot of scam calls too. So we want to reach you properly with your UK number so you know that somebody legit is calling you. Do you get? And they'll tell you they're from emergency financial services. They'll properly, but whoever calls you, you are in good hands because you are at the center of what we do, and we are great at what we do. You've been awarded several times for what we do, and part of what I do is to be at the table. When Statity, how are you? Right. Thank you. To be at the table. So at times when legislations are being made, I'm at the House of Lords to be there. We still need more diversity. That's some of the things that you're picking up now. Say, oh, I've got aged parents. So what's there? So even if my parents don't live here, they don't really have a lot like that. I think there's another insurance that's coming up to say, okay, we can cover something like diaspora something. It's not the full, it's something, right? So I'm saying that the more of us that are at those tables, the more that we can create and evolve those products to reflect our community, because they did not design those products with a lot. Okay, let me give you a typical example. So when the last oh sorry, when the last Dakwa set in quote came in, a lot of people that came in were on, they're already like upper middle class from Nigeria. Before you can afford to come, you had your money, you had your influence from Nigeria. So it's not people that didn't have money that came in like that. And so a lot of people came in and they were trying to get them insurance. And there were, gatekeepers at the door saying, oh, they have to, I've lived in the UK for 2 years to get. I said, what? So I was invited to the House of Lords on some, I was Royal London, Vitality, they were all at the table. And they didn't even know that this problem existed. That some people are professionals and saying that you should have 2 years GP record. It doesn't even make sense because to them, 2 years GP record is, you've lived here all your life. So you will at least have minimum 2 years GP record. But if they're just coming straight from Nigeria and they won't be covered, and they don't have that length of GP record, why are we excluding them? So they have adjusted that from 2 years, now 6 months. So at times, if they are not within the community, they don't know the real issues or where the shoe is pinching us, right? But if more of us are there, we can evolve some of these products. So that's why I encourage people to become advisors, even if you can't do. I want full-time advice. I want to be able. So it's difficult for people to actually make six figures dipping their toes. But literally, ladies, I see how this industry has helped me transform and evolve and live a much more comfortable life in the UK by what we do. Your finance company does not have an arm of savings. Okay, so all right, very good. So right now, we're also evolving our licenses soon to involve investment. But literally what we've started out with is the protection, because that is the basis of you actually being, is the protection aspect of this that we started out with. But very, very soon we'll be talking about pensions and investment. And hopefully by the end of the year, like I told you, people thought we were crazy when we said we're going direct authorized, because all these other companies that you may come across are offshoots of the bigger companies. But we are the big company that have gone say, so if you want to employ 100,000 people today as advisors, we can. We got that license, thank God. Right. So yes, we are going to be evolving. We need mortgage, but saving the 10% is not all right. So if you are under 40, right, I would strongly advise you to go and do your LISA. All right. Okay, Chia, let's talk, right? There are different things that we can and funny enough, a lot of people that came to the UK that come across me, I've been able to set up properly. Some of them are already now being able to buy houses because they set up. I wished I knew what I know now when I came into the UK. I've been in the UK now going to 16 years. I wished, and the people around you, and Tobori, thank you very much for this amazing, amazing platform that you and the team have put together. Guys, because this woman is doing what she's doing, she has opened you up to a few other things. I wished I had this when I came into the country. I think our life would have even been much, much better right now, because the circle that we came in was not a great. It actually set us back years. But people that come into our circle now, I thank God that we can say, yeah, come on, now we own this land, we day here, right? And they're coming in as professionals. I've been able to get professional jobs, knowing the right skills to do. And please, if you came into this country as students and you came in to do masters, please, for heaven's sake, don't get locked into the COS thing. Look for roles within your profession. God will open doors for you. And don't close your mouth. If you don't have a LinkedIn profile, create your LinkedIn profile. Don't get locked into, it's only care that has COS. And please, I'm not taking away from anybody that's doing care today, right? Because it's a means to an end. Most of us that come into this country, we came with a degree. In fact, I came into this country as highly skilled. We came in a master's degree. Ireti, you will be unlocked in Jesus' name. Now what you're going to do is your profession that you are in, the thing that you trained for, right? Network intentionally. Use your LinkedIn. Let me give you another. I'm only now we have almost finished talking about insurance. Please, if you've not clicked into the link, click in there. If you're using your Nigerian number, text me. Text my number 074 07411857200. Please text your name and UK number to that. Yeah, and they will. Okay, let me go back to what I'm saying. LinkedIn today, I think I'm over £4,000. Well, I say £4,000, 4,000 in connections. And I started that maybe just about maybe less than 4 years ago. When I was going to come into finance, you know what I did? Okay, back in Nigeria, I was in the banking sector. So, and I had a very good career in Nigeria. And that's why when I came to the country, it was really challenging, because you're like, I came here as I flyer, now, how we roll. We're Nigerians, how we roll. So I came into the country as highly skilled, right? And I had to look at who are the people who are who's in this country. Please research. The first research I did was who are the good politicians here that are from my country, from my descent? Who are the people that are making things happen in London? Who are the people making that happen in the United Kingdom that look and sound like me? At that level, I used Facebook. It was Facebook that was the connection then. By the time I've spent a few years, guys, I was already rolling with the mayors, with the councillors, with the ambassadors. I didn't do that from anywhere. It is intentionally connecting using Facebook. So if you have, thank God you have this Facebook, look at the people that are making things happen in the UK. Connect with them. A lot of us are human beings, And then secondly, when I came into finance back, by God's grace, in 2019, I stood to become a member of parliament. I did not grow up in the UK. As I did, I've only spent 9 years. People thought I grew up here. I did not. I came in with my legs into this country. But it was a circle I was moving in and the information I was getting. I intentionally networked, guys. Intentionally networked. This is UK. You are here. Whatever visa that you have, yes, that's the means to an end. Don't let it be your end. It is a means. Now, when I came into finance, I started researching who are the people making things happen in finance. I did say AI will even make your life easier now. Bring everything. Then I had to manually do it. And I started connecting on LinkedIn. All right. So before I even approached FCA that wanted to go directly authorized, maybe I was an advisor with other firms, and most of the firms I was advisor with were owned by white people, right? I don't have anything against them. This is their country. We left our comfort to come here to build. So it's okay for them to be. They have heads, ahead of us. This is their country. So it's either you're working for a white company or an Asian company. Those are the people that own it in finance. All I just did was LinkedIn, who are the CEOs, who are making things happen, who are the top advisors. I started connecting. By the time I was going to apply to go directly authorized, all the insurance companies in the UK knew me by name, Dr. Sheun-oke. Oh, I've seen you. Oh, I've seen you. And I was consistent with the content I was creating. I was an advisor working as a self-employed under other companies that are not, like we now own our company by God's grace. But I was an advisor once that was working for other people's company. But I stood aside and I promoted the company and I promoted myself. I had intention. So when you're in the UK, whatever industry you are, use these free platforms. Connect with the right people. Tobore is an amazing woman. She's doing amazing work. I know some of you that means here, I'm already, I cite you, right? I cite you. Well done. But please, don't stay small. Don't let all the unfortunately affect you. It affected me at the beginning. But when I broke free, guys, anytime I go for finance, all this, in the UK, when you go to finance, like dinners, awards, 600 people in the room, we are just 4 Black people. I'm the constant. Out of those 4 Black people, I am the company owner. I am not working for anybody. By God's grace, I have other people working for us because we decided to invest heavily in it. It was not small, but we thank God we're here now. And we have done that so that we can open doors for people like you and I. Guys, if you come in with the grit, you will transform your life by helping other people. Now, we don't lead with the money because said if you help enough people get what they want, you get everything that you're looking for. So we lead with the heart. We want to help people, but we get paid. And we are happy to go home to sleep when we get paid because we know we've done the right thing and we've protected your back. So don't get locked. I know you say, oh, we're locked in. No, you're not. Look for opportunities within with the course that you studied. Connect intentionally on LinkedIn, and I see you having testimonies. Mark my words today, things are going to be happening. There are other companies that, aside from care, that are giving COS. And I've heard so many testimonies like that for people that listened and took action. Don't get locked in. You are here. You want the Bible says that wherever the sole of your feet shall touch, you shall take over. Take over. United Kingdom is yours, and the doors will open for you by God's grace. So don't play small. Let's play big, because I want to celebrate you. We are here to create something for our legacy, for our children. And she builds. She leads. She leads a legacy. Amen. Sorry, you made me start preaching. All right, back back to finance. All right. Shall I hand over to Tobere? Oh, we've said, oh my God. I didn't know this time is gone. My husband calls me talkative. So I've shown you talkative today. Oh, you're so welcome, Patience. You're so welcome. I know. Yeah, Teju, bless you. Yeah, you're so welcome. Okay. So that being said, let me see. So let me reiterate again. If you've not clicked in, please do. All right, I've got 31 people that have clicked in. We'll definitely be in touch from Monday. You start hearing from the team. Book a time. They'll do a virtual consultation with you. For some of you that we didn't look at it, they may be able to literally come into your living room if that's what it's easier. You're so much welcome. Bless you, Titi. Joy, bless you. Yeah. So we will definitely be able to help you. If you have something before, yes, we'll review and see. If it's right, we'll leave it. If we can't make it better, we'll leave it the way it is. But our goal is to always leave it better than where we met you. If you can't do it better, we leave it the way it is. If you also have your life insurance and it's not yet in trust, then we'll be able to also help you. Trust is also a way for you to make sure that the payout of your life insurance goes to your family tax-free. See, the 40% thing is real, guys. Literally, as in, I'm currently doing a professional course. You're welcome, Chidema. I'm currently going, like I told you, we are upgrading our license to be able to do pensions and investments and all of that. So the minimum we've got to do DIPFA. DIPFA is done by London Institute of Banking and Finance. And as in, when we're going through all this, I'm just getting angry and angry. I all sit down and start calculating everything, every single thing. You pay 20% on this one, you pay 25% on that, you pay 40. I was like, who sits down to be looking at one? As in, it's ridiculous. So a lot of my clients are on additional tax. Okay, so they're already paying 45%. And if you earn over 125,000, 140, currently you've lost your personal allowance, which is that 12,570 that they don't tax at the beginning. So literally they place 45% on the whole money that you're earning. And so they tell you you're earning 125,000, but your take home is not even half of that. And when you finish again, you've bought your house, you finish paying the mortgage. When that person passes on, they now say, okay, we remove this amount, but you pay 40. As in, they didn't ask for 4%, they didn't ask for 5. They didn't ask for 10. 40% fat. So, guys, it's ridiculous, but it's law. And I'm getting angry, but you know what? We have to know how to work this system so that it works for us. So, if not, people will work and die. And it's almost like in vain. Because if your children cannot afford to pay the taxes, then they can't even. So why would I want to build wealth and give it to the government? It is well. That's all I can say. All right, Chidema, yeah, information, yeah, all right. It's a blessing. You've done the right thing by coming to the UK, so don't ever say, oh, no. But remember, don't stay there. Aspire. My mother will say, aspire to perspire. Aspire, because the sky is the beginning. And please also join a political party that your innings align with. It's important because whether you like it or not, some people are making decisions that affect their life. And if we are not part of them to influence it, sorry, they won't make the legislation that will favor us. It will be always against us. So we need to be at the table if we don't want to be on the menu. All right. I think that will be it for me tonight. Oh, okay. Oh, fantastic. Thank you. So please, have you clicked into the you're so welcome, Teju. Yeah, please click into the chat group and okay, fantastic. And then we will be in touch, right? We'll ask questions to be able to make sure that you have the right one for you. And then if you've actually worked in insurance before, who knows? Can I jump at it as non? Yeah, you can. You can. As long as you have the right to stay in the UK, yeah. It's just maybe you pay like £20 annually for membership fee. And that's I told you was I even British yet when I stood to become. I think what I got my British citizenship on that journey. I was a permanent resident by the time I stood then. Don't worry, you're on earth, don't worry. It doesn't mean as long as you have the residency permit to stay in the UK for now, which healthcare COS still makes it. You won't be able to carry Igbabo, but you can pass. And please, if you have opportunity to volunteer. Do see what you can do, in your local community. See who your counselors are. See, please get involved. It's not just go to work, come back, look after family, nothing else, or or go to church, or no. Beyond going to church, you need to be the light where you are. So know what's going on around you. Look on your council website and see who are making things happen. Go and know them. That was how I got started. Here I am. Some of you may have come across me. Some of you, maybe this is the first time you're coming across me. But I put it myself out there. I'm not saying everybody's gonna like me. I'm not looking to be overliked. I'm okay. This is me. I don't form. This is me. If you come across me, this is me. I'll greet you, and that's me. But don't just stay there in your bubble. Get out there. Hetty, I see you. Get out there. To him that wants to have friends, you must show yourself friendly, right? One of my friends came, visiting from another city. I said, Sheun, nobody talks to me in my area. I say, I'm new in that place. If they don't know you, then you go and know them. Go and knock on their door. Guys, this is what I do. I go and knock on. For the past 8 years, every single Christmas gives me an opportunity to go and do, Christmas, people give gifts. I write 100 minimum cards and I go knocking on the doors. Merry Christmas. This from number. This from number. And I do get some back. Oh, okay, yeah. It's been a pleasure. And so, even if they are not knowing you, you put yourself out and go and know them, and you will get some friends there. Yeah. Anyway, bless you, Aniki. Bless you. All right. So, shall we go now? My husband started calling me. Where are you? So let me go and do mother duties, guys. Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure to serve you. We're looking forward to working with you. And I see great things coming out of here. Please do share the video with others. Obviously, with all the after talks, they may not need to watch everything because this is like almost 2 hours. Wow. Yay. 2 hours. Okay, let's go.